The fire started just after midnight. Chemical plant explosion on the south edge of the city. One blast then another. Flames turned the sky orange, and dispatch lit up like a Christmas tree. 3 alarms. For casualties. Multiple rooftops blocked by smoke. And the worst part? No helicopters could fly. The air was too thick, too toxic, too blinding. Pilots grounded themselves as weather warnings screamed from every panel. From the rooftop of Trinity Metro Hospital, you could see the glow. It wasn't a sunset, it was the city burning. Inside the flight room, chaos ruled. Maps, radios, sweat. No one knew what to do. Visibility is under 30 feet, one pilot snapped. Those kids won't last another hour, a nurse shouted. Everyone looked at the board. 4 requests for airlift. 0 aircraft cleared. Then someone asked the question, "Where's the night wrench?" The room blinked. "You mean Nora? She's not cleared for flight. She's not even staff." "Yeah, but she's flown worse, right?" Silence. Then the intercom clicked. "Emergency airlift needed. Unit 12. Code red. 2 children trapped on a rooftop. No stair access. Fire approaching." The whole building held its breath. That's when Nora Langston walked in. Grease still on her sleeves. No drama, no speech. She walked straight past dispatch, down the hall, toward the equipment locker. Jasmine, a young tech, followed. "Miss Langston?" Nora didn't turn. She reached up, entered a 4-digit code. Click. The door creaked open. Inside, one black flight helmet. Dusty, scratched, still bearing a faded label, Langston Command. "You kept it?" Jasmine gasped. Nora just nodded. Then put it on. For 3 years, Nora Langston had been invisible. Every night at 7:45 p.m. sharp, she'd show up through the side door, past the vending machines, down the echoing hall that smelled like bleach and old takeout, up to the rooftop where the rescue helicopters slept. She didn't wear a badge with stripes. Didn't speak in flight codes or bark into radios. She wore gray coveralls with her name stitched in fading thread and carried a battered metal toolbox that squeaked when it rolled. Most nights, no one spoke to her. The younger EMTs just called her the night wrench. Some said it kindly. Others not so much. "Hey, wrench lady," one paramedic had joked once, waving a sandwich. "You fixing the birds or feeding them?" She didn't even look up. Just crouched beside a skid mount, tightening a bolt by feel alone. No light, no manual, only muscle memory. But what no one knew was that Nora had once flown into combat zones with nothing but a call sign and courage. That her hands had steadied wounded soldiers in the back of a bird rattling from enemy fire. That behind the quiet, tired eyes of the woman pushing the mop lived a legend just waiting to rise again. The rumor started with a photo Jasmine found by accident. Stuffed in an old file drawer behind expired bandage kits and broken radios. It was yellowed, creased, half-torn, but the image was clear. A woman, younger, tougher, unmistakably Nora, standing next to a medevac chopper with a helmet under one arm, smiling. Behind her, 3 soldiers. All bandaged. All alive. The words on the back, Langston, Commander, Fallujah Medevac. By 9 p.m., the photo had made its way through 2 group chats, a nurse thread, and someone had already scanned it into the department printer. By 9:15, it was taped to the fridge next to a faded sign about not stealing each other's yogurt. The theories began immediately. "I heard she was shot down and crawled 6 miles back with a broken leg." No. She flew through enemy fire, saved 20 people, then vanished. Maybe she got kicked out for punching a general. "Guys," Jasmine interrupted. She was a commander. A medevac commander. "It's right there on the photo." The room went quiet. Even the skeptics stared at the image now like it was suddenly glowing. Later that night, Chief Medic O'Connor walked into the surgical lounge, stopped cold when he saw the photo. "Where'd you get this?" he asked. "Old file cabinet." Jasmine raised her hand. He nodded once. "I was there." Everyone turned. "She flew my unit out twice. Took fire both times. Landed so hard my ribs cracked on impact. Saved 9 guys including me." Pause. "And yeah, she vanished. Just stopped flying. No one knew why." He looked at the fridge, then back at them. "You should probably stop calling her wrench lady." Now, as flames consumed the city and no pilot dared take off, Nora stepped onto the helipad. Boots crunching under soot, helmet under her arm, the rotor blades beginning to turn. She didn't ask permission. Didn't wait for protocol. She just flew. The team stared as she approached Chopper 6. Whoa, what's she doing? She's not authorized. She's not even on the flight list. But then something strange happened. The chopper responded like it knew her. She flicked the switches like muscle memory, checked the gauges, set the pitch. The blades began to spin. Josh, a young paramedic, ran up breathless. "You need a flight partner." Nora looked at him, raised an eyebrow. "You know how to shut up and hold a stretcher?" He grinned. "Yes, ma'am." "Then get in." Eloise, watching from the door, grabbed her headset. "Radio down, we have a liftoff." "Repeat, we are lifting with Langston at the stick." "Come again?" someone replied. "Yeah," she whispered. "I didn't believe it either." As the helicopter rose, flames licked the skyline. Ash rained like snow. Inside the cockpit, Nora's hands were steady. Josh, gripping the panel, asked, "Have you done this before?" She didn't answer. She didn't need to. The smoke swallowed them whole. On the ground, everyone stopped, even the skeptics. They watched the chopper vanish into orange haze. "She's going in," someone whispered. "No one flies through that. She's going to crash." But Nora didn't crash. She found the rooftop. She hovered, lowered the rig. 2 kids climbed in, coughing, crying. Josh strapped them down, nodded. Nora tilted the chopper, lifted again, straight up, straight through the smoke, back into view. The rooftop crew exploded in tears. Eloise wiped her eyes. She did it. When they landed, the hospital flooded with people. Reporters, nurses, staff. One doctor tried to stop her at the pad. "You weren't authorized." Nora handed him her helmet. "It's not about permission. It's about people." And walked away. Later, Jasmine found Nora on the roof's far edge, kneeling, looking out over the city. Helmet in her lap, eyes distant. "Miss Langston," she asked softly, "why did you stop flying?" A long pause. The wind pushed at Nora's curls, now mostly gray. Fallujah. 2003. It was a night mission. Dust storms, gunfire in the hills. She'd flown medevac under fire before, but this one was different. This time the call came from her own crew. Their sister chopper had gone down behind enemy lines. 3 survivors. 1 dying, 1 already gone, and 1, her best friend Callie, trapped in the wreckage. Command said stand down. Too dangerous. Too late. But Nora launched anyway. No support, no cover. Just a gut feeling and guilt already forming. She found them. Smoke everywhere, blood, screams. She pulled 2 out with Josh the gunner, then went back for Callie. They were almost out when the second blast hit. Shrapnel cut through the tail rotor. The chopper dropped hard. They barely made it airborne. But Callie, she was gone. Back at base, Brass gave her a medal and a choice: desk job or discharge. She chose neither. She walked away. No ceremony, no speech. Just packed her bag, left her helmet behind, started fixing choppers instead of flying them. Because somehow, she told Jasmine, turning bolts felt more honest than holding controls I no longer trusted myself with. "You saved lives," Jasmine whispered. "I didn't save hers," Nora said. By morning, Trinity Metro's board issued a statement. "Nora Langston will face no disciplinary action. In fact, we owe her more than words can say." But Nora wasn't interested in vindication. When they offered her a position, a title, recognition, she declined. "What do you want?" the director asked. She took a breath. "I want to teach." The room erupted. Someone clapped, then another, then everyone. "We'll fund it," the director said. The next day, flyers went up. The Langston Initiative, Emergency Flight Mentorship for Underserved Trainees. 3 slots filled in an hour. By evening they had a wait list and a logo, a single-line drawing of a helicopter hovering over a wrench. Months later, the first class met on a Thursday. No podium, no welcome banner. Just 6 folding chairs on the rooftop hangar and 1 steel thermos of black coffee. Nora stood in front of them, arms crossed, clipboard under one arm. Her voice was low, steady. "This helmet doesn't make you brave," she began. "Knowing when not to fly does." Among her students was Callie Johnson Jr., 19, shy smile, quiet fire. She was the daughter of the friend Nora couldn't save. The one who'd never stopped talking about Commander Langston. "My mom said you were the reason she flew," Callie Jr. had told Nora on the first day. "She was the reason I came back," Nora replied. On the last day of training, Nora stood beside the practice chopper, watched her newest student run pre-flight checks with nervous hands. Josh leaned in. "She reminds me of you." Nora tilted her head. "She's better." As the rotors spun and the chopper lifted, slow, shaky but steady, the sky opened wide like it was holding its arms out. All who stood beneath felt that old magic return. Because sometimes the greatest thing a pilot can do is step aside so others can take flight. In all the years since, whenever someone asks about the night the city burned and no pilot dared to fly, they tell the story of Nora Langston, the janitor who became a legend. The woman who showed that courage doesn't announce itself, it walks in with grease on its hands, coffee in its thermos, and a wrench in its pocket. She reminded us that real heroes don't chase recognition. They just show up. They do the work when no one's watching, when no one claps. And when the moment comes, when lives hang in the balance and the sky calls, they answer. Not because they have to, because they can. And in a world obsessed with youth and titles and noise, Nora Langston proved that sometimes the most powerful thing you can be is overlooked, underestimated, and absolutely unstoppable. The rooftop ghost still flies. She just does it through the hands she's trained, the lives she's touched, and the legend she's become.